Hello, I'm Chris Day and I'm the host of the YouTube channel Let's Wander. In this video I'm going to be explaining how the channel came to be. So this will involve some personal history, as well as explaining what the channel's all about and what I hope to achieve. So with that being said, let's dive on in there. In my day-to-day job, I work as a groundsman on top of a hill in the Surrey Hills, keeping it all nice, short and green and tidy. I live with my two dogs, Lila and Buddy. They are both mongrels and they are both rescues. I refer to them as the family. Lila and Buddy aren't my only pets. I also keep chickens. I have Mooncake, Specs, and Edwina. I also have 3 snakes: Drago, Percy, and Nagini. I was about 3 years old. Our family moved to the town of Molesey in Surrey. It's got a lot of countryside and a lot of history, and only down the road from Hampton Court Palace. I think this is probably where my interest in the countryside and history began. When I was about 19 years old, I took on a dog called Poppy. We would spend ages and ages just wandering around Molesey in the fields and the rivers and looking at the old buildings. One of her favourite old buildings? The Bell Pub. I also took on a little chihuahua. Her name was Chiwi. Chi because she was a chihuahua, and Wee because she was small. Unfortunately, like all things with dogs, they eventually pass away. Poppy passed away, she was aged about 17. It was after her I took on Kylo, who was a great big German Shepherd Belgian Malinois cross. And it was with him that I started going on the big adventures. In 2012 I moved up to Southport with my wife. Needless to say, it didn't work out and we split up. I ended up moving down to Bognor Regis, a lot more south than what I'd ever been before. After we moved to Bognor, we discovered the South Downs. And that is where the wonders all began. Kylo and I would just get in the van and head out into the woods and just walk for hours until we found something somewhere quiet and serene where we could chill out and get back to nature. In 2016 I took on the job as a groundsman in the Surrey Hills. It was at this point that I realised that Kylo might get a bit bored and lonely on his own while I was cutting the field. I thought it'd be a good idea to get him a little friend, and we found Lila. Lila was from the streets of Malaga, and she didn't really have much training or an idea of how to behave or how to play, so Kylo taught her. On the 23rd of May 2018, Lila and I stuck by Kylo's side as he slowly passed away at home. It was quite a difficult time for us. Lila had only just bonded with Kylo, and I'd bonded with him over the past 9 years. He taught us so much, and he was like a Mr. Miyagi of dogs. And while I'll always miss Poppy, Kylo, Chiwi, there will always be room for another dog in this household. Probably only about a week later we found out about little Molly, who needed a home. So we took her in, and what a lovely dog she was. But unfortunately, after about 2 months, Molly had developed really severe stomach cancer. It's probably to do with the fact that she was pining for her former partner Jasper. After losing Molly, I thought I'd have a go at fostering dogs. Well, I failed at the first hurdle. The minute I met Buddy, totally fell in love with him. He's a greyhound crossed with a staffy, and he's as soft as you like. He's not only soft, he's also a very amusing dog as well. He always makes me laugh. And that brings us to the team that we now have today. Then in February 2019, I decided that it would be worth putting these videos out on YouTube for other people to see. And the channel did so well that I actually started investing in new equipment. I bought a gimbal, and eventually I invested in a new camera, and then after that I invested in a camper van to get further out to bring you guys better videos. Sometimes when we go out on our wanders, we're accompanied by my dad Mick, Merlin the Springer Spaniel, and Rosie the White Chihuahua. In my spare time, I fancy myself as a bit of a musician. In fact, a large amount of my family consider themselves musicians. And this is why I'm lucky enough to be able to bring our own original music to the channel, Let's Wander. And that, my friends, is the story so far. I hope you'll continue to join us on our wanders, and I'll see you again soon. It's from me, Chris. Bye 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 bye.